before a hearing para malaman natin kung sinong source niya. At kung hindi siya magsabi ng totoo, I will be the first one to move for the citing in contempt of that media personnel, Mr. President. Ikulong natin yan kung ayaw magsabi ng totoo.
Magandang araw uli mga kaibigan. Ito uli si Greenleafy Cabbage nagbabalik para magbalita uli ng bagong pag-uusapan sa araw na ito. Alam nyo ba na nanggagalaiti sa galit ang mga senador sa naglabas ng impormasyon na pinag-usapan sa executive session? Na naglabas ng mga pangalan kung saan pumapabor ang mga ito sa pagbabalik sa secret confidential fund ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. At gusto pa nilang pakulong kung sino ang nag-leak ito sa media. Unang naipangalan ng makachinang senator na si Robin Padilla. Hali na tating panoorin ito. Let's go!
Mr. President, this is not a laughing matter. This is serious. Filipino people are watching us right now. Sabihin nila, ganyan na pala Senado ngayon, hindi ba pagkatiwalaan? Sila lang nag-uusap, magli-leak pa doon sa media. It's very dangerous, Mr. President. Very dangerous. Masyadong akong dismayado. Thank you, Mr. President.
We agree with the gentleman from Davao, and that's why after these proceedings, I will ask Senator Nancy V. and I, Chair of the Committee on Ethics, to investigate the matter.
Yes, Mr. President.
After Senator, yes.
Mr. President.
May I move that the Senate Committee on Ethics conduct a hearing and invite the source of the news, Mr. President, so that everything will be cleared out.
Yes, we'll ask the majority floor leader to make the proper referral and motion.
Before we make the proper motion, Mr. President, may I just appeal to our dear colleagues to hear the sentiments of our
Other colleagues.
other colleagues. We have, Mr. President, Senator Pia Cayetano been waiting for quite a long time.
Senator Sherwin Gatchalian and Senator Lauren Legarda as well.
Lauren also is here.
Mr. President, if I may, with the permission of my colleagues, may I request that we discuss this in caucus now, because by saying what is true or untrue in the reported publication online, we are speaking about the executive session. And let me just remind the body of Section 129 of the Rules of the Senate. It is not even a matter of whether it's published online or hard copy. The mere divulging the executive session minutes or any part of it who violates all the provisions in the executive session contained in the preceding sections by 2/3 vote may be expelled from the Senate. It is a very serious violation, Mr. President, by a senator or an officer or a staff. In Rule, what is this?
129.
Yes, 129.
Section 129.
So, by saying that it is not true, or it is true in part, but in fact it is this and that, we are actually talking about the executive session. So it is my humble opinion, respectfully, I do not want to muzzle our colleagues, and if they want to speak on the floor, I leave it to your better judgment. But many of us feel strongly about this, and I respect the right of Senator Estrada for standing on the floor. But if we are going to speak about each and every line which was published, whether it is true or not, with all due respect to the publication which I've not read, may we discuss it in caucus in relation to 129 rule of the Senate. That is my humble suggestion. But I leave it to the members of the Senate if they want to speak about it in session. Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. President.
We understand that many of our colleagues feel slighted, feel angry, and we could allow them to express their personal opinions and release their emotions to this chamber. Yes, Senator Pia Cayetano's recognized.
Thank you. Mr. President, let me align myself with the observation and recommendation of the Senate President Pro Temp. I did not stand, I did not raise my hand with the intention of clearing any statement I made. I did not even read that. I don't bother reading those kind of articles. I don't. So, nung nabanggit pa yung pangalan ko, nagugulat lang ako kasi I don't bother reading those articles and I won't comment on it. What I will say is this. I will say it not because I'm repeating what I said in caucus, because I agree with Senate President Pro Temp that let's discuss it there. Because if even our rules do not even make an exception. It does not even allow a senator to say, I will just repeat what I said. Walang ganun exception, Majority Floor Leader, correct? So I cannot stand up here and said, I will just be responsible for my statement. Ito po yung sinabi ko. Hindi tayo allowed, walang exception sa rules natin na tumayo ang isang senador at sabihin, yung akin pong sinabi doon, ito. Kasi hindi naman magkaroon ng opportunity yung ibang 23 senators to explain what they said or what they thought. Because precisely the rule is, lahat tayo tahimik. At kaya ang parusa doon, yung pinakamabigat na parusa na expulsion from the Senate. So, ang puntos ko ay simple. Chairman ako ng isang mahalagang committee na naghihiring ng budget na yan. DepEd, CHED, DOH, and attached agencies. So, on the issue of confidential funds, intelligence funds, or kung ano pa man, ako gusto ko, tanungin ng mga senador sa floor, yung mga tanong nila tungkol doon, para makapagdesisyon ang bawat senador kung ano ang tingin niyang nararapat na gawin sa mga pondong yan. Confidential, non-confidential, anything. So, yun yung gusto kong klase na diskusyon. So, kung nagkaroon tayo ng executive session na napag-usapan man ng ganon, hindi nga dapat lumalabas yun kasi nga, ang mga subcommittee chairman na katulad ko ay magre-recommend sa chairman na si Senator Angara kung ano dapat gawin sa mga pondong yon. Hindi ko naman didesisyonan mag-isa yon. Didesisyonan ko yon based on the debates. I would like to be educated properly based on the rules of the Senate. Gusto ko marinig yung posisyon ng Minority Floor Leader, ng Deputy Minority Floor Leader, ng Senate President, ng Senate President Pro Temp, ng mga baguhan na senator. Gusto ko marinig lahat yon. Ano ang paniwala nyo tungkol dito sa mga iba-ibang pondo and what will we do about it? Tapos, iharap natin sa taong bayan kung ano desisyon natin. So kaya nga, and I'm explaining this because the students, the young people, the old people who will now care to comment, bakit ba may executive session? Bakit ba kayo nagsisikreto? Wala naman kaming balak isikreto, ilalabas nga yun. Pero minsan may mga diskusyon na gusto natin marinig yung opinion ng bawat isa na walang titigil nung, kunyari gusto kong magtanong ng, it's a stupid question, pero tatanungin ko na, di ako mahihiya. Diba? Aminin natin, minsan nahihiya tayong magtanong dahil, kasi bago lang ako, di kaya kami executive session para lahat pwedeng maitanong, lahat pwedeng mailabas. Kaya dapat sikreto yun. And then at the right time, mapapag-usapan. I wanted to explain that lang, Mr. President, for the benefit of those watching us. Kasi ang puntos is, bakit kayo may executive session? Bakit kayo may tinatago? Wala akong tinatago. Nagdidiskusyon ng maayos para bang magulang. Let's say, for example, na wala itong nangyaring ganito, sisermo na ni Senate President o kaya ni Senate President Pro Temp ako, sisermo na nila ako. They will do that in private. In the executive session, ay Pia, di mo naintindihan. So gagawin namin yun in private para pagdating to sa public, ganun ba? O sige, tatanungin ko na lang in public o kaya di ko na tatanungin dahil naipaliwanag nyo na. That's the reason among many other reasons kung bakit may executive session. I just wanted to explain that dahil ang puntos nito is bakit may executive session at bakit may mabigat na kaparusahan. Wala tayong tinatago. But the reason for the rules is because it is meant to be followed. It is not meant to be violated. So kung may nag-violate, magkaroon ng tamang due process, magkaroon ng hearing, magkaroon ng opportunity to explain, and then the proper penalty must be meted out. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator Cayetano. Senator Gatchalian is recognized.
Mr. President, I just want to add from what Senator Bato mentioned and Senator Cayetano mentioned as well. The broader implication of this, Mr. President, is the trust and confidence to the Senate. It's our credibility on the line. And every budget hearing, normally, a lot of the security cluster, the National Defense, the Department of National Defense, the PNP, the NICA, all of them normally will request executive session so they can tell us what is the reality, the national security situation, national security matters, so that we can act accordingly. Leaks like this will hamper will destroy our credibility, destroy our integrity, and it will now prevent the security agencies to give us the truth, because they will have doubts in their minds whether the truth or whether information will be kept safe in the halls of the Senate. So, Mr. President, I would like to associate myself with the motion of Senator Bato that this should be looked at and investigated seriously, because it's the Senate